After doing so, by that time your water, your cacabans are ready. The cacabans will be inside the water. Or there is another one we call hatchery net. We do normally go to these people that construct something like this nature. You tell them they use that mosquito net and construct it for you. You know, this aluminum do not have weight. You just keep it on top of the water and spray your egg, the fertilized egg, on it. After you spread it, you make sure that your aerator, which is your reliable water pump, is on already. The work of that aerator is to generate oxygen to those eggs that are being introduced to the water. It will be reducing bubbles. The aerator will be, that's why the generator or NEPA lights must be steady, so that it will be helping that aerator, giving it power, then the aerator will be generating bubbles. By so doing, it will be generating oxygen to those eggs that are being introduced to that pond. After you have done that, you take the female down inside a different pond. Then the male, if you like, you can structure it and still take it back inside a different pond as well and leave it there. Then after 24 hours, you went back there and check those eggs. If actually maybe you induce around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. The following morning or towards evening, by that time, you go back there and check. Those eggs will start hatching. You see them very tiny, very little tiny. If you are not carefully, you will not know that they have hatched. So you have to take your time, look very well inside the water. You see them, they will be moving. Very small things moving. Like mosquito larvae. They will be moving like mosquito larvae. By that time, they are fish larvae. Very tiny and very small. And they do feed from that egg that they are inside for 2 days before you introduce what we call Artemia. It's a foreign feed that has been sealed on a tin. And it's also a live organism, but well preserved. Then if you put it inside the water, they will start swimming. Then those larvae will be following them and be feeding on them. That is the feed that we use when those larvae or the feed, the hatch egg, and the second day of the hatch egg, you use the Artemia feed to feed those larvae. And you have to use that Artemia to feed them like 1 week before you be using artificial feed or natural feed. What I mean by natural feed, you have to use your poultry dung or cow dung or piggery dung. You ferment them. After fermentation, for like 2-3 days, you sieve them and use those water that you sieve from that poultry drum or cow dung and put it inside that water. If you use microscope, you see small organisms inside the water. We do call this zooplankton or planktons. But we normally go for this already made Artemia feed. Then after 2 weeks, you start with your normal feeding. And we have millimeters of fish feeds. The first one is 0.5 to 1 millimeter. Then after that, we have 2 millimeter, 1 to 2 millimeter. After the 1 to 2 millimeter, we have 3 millimeter. Then 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter, 8 millimeter, and the highest is 9 millimeter, depending on their stages. When they are up to 2 weeks, you start feeding them with 0.5 to 1 millimeter of fish, very tiny. From 2 weeks old, you start feeding them with already made feed. And we have different types of companies. We have Aqualis, we have Aqua, we have Vita, Top Feed, we have Top Feed, we have Coupe, we have other ones, but that Coupe is more important, that we do advise fish farmers to go on to use them when the fish is very tender, because it's a foreign feed, but very, very costly. But it gives you what you want. That Coupe feed or Atlas, these are the two foreign feed that we have here in Nigeria. That is very good for you to use from that 2 weeks, maybe for like 1 month or 2 months. Then you start using our local made feed here, like Top Feed, Aqua Feed, and Aqualis with Vita Feed. Then after you have done your hatchery, the next thing you have to go to is fish transportation and handling. Fish transportation and handling. Transportation is often the first or last step of fish production. Loss during transportation affect profits margin severally. Fish loss during transportation is caused by activation of latent disease organisms, osmoregulatory problem, poor water quality, overcrowding, improper handling. What do you mean by these things? Maybe your water is very poor in quality. You transfer it from another person's pond to your own pond. It will affect your pond. Like these artisans, let's use these artisans that normally go to the riverine area to fish. While going for fishing, there is a box that we normally call ice box. Ice box. That ice box is being well prepared. It will preserve fishes. These artisans use them while going for fishing. They will put their ice block inside and went for fishing. While fishing, any fish that they got, they will put it inside that box. Then the ice inside that box will preserve those fishes. Even that they will stay up to 6-7 hours. If they come back and bring out those fishes, they will still remain fresh. Handling of fishes is the last step of fish production. Because if you mishandle your fish, it will spoil on time and you will lose. Also, transportation is another thing. Maybe after your hatchery, someone told you that you need up to 600 or 700 fingerlings or post-fingerlings or juveniles. It's okay. Where would you stay? You said, I'm staying at Ekorabasi Street, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, I will take it to you. You just, instead of you to put up to 525 liters or 50 liters, you put up to 2,000. It will be overcrowded. And by so doing, they will die, you will lose some fishes. And we normally transport our fishes early in the morning and towards evening from one farm to another farm. Transportation of fish is only good for in the morning hours and late evening hours. That is the most important and good time of transportation of fish. Either the small fingerlings, juveniles, or the table-sized fishes. Early morning and towards evening. But if actually that you want to transport your fish during daytime, you need an ice block so that you keep the temperature of that water normal, so that the temperature of that water will not be harsh on those fishes. That is the most important thing. And by so doing, it will give the fish a good health condition. It will make the fish to be neat as it is and fresh as it is. The factors that we considered during fish transportation. The first one is oxygen. Second one is carbon dioxide. Third one is ammonia. The fourth one is temperature. These 14 things are very, very important while transporting fishes from one place to another. You make sure that you give them very oxygen, carbon dioxide, ammonia, and make sure their temperature is normal. So species matters a lot. If you are transporting tilapia, it will be all tilapia in that one container. If you are transporting catfish, it will all be catfish in that one container. At the same time, age and sizes matters also. You can't use transport fingerlings and a table size catfish, put them at the same container and transport them. No. The bigger one will feed on the smaller ones. So by so doing, by separating them, knowing the transportation method and the strategy of transportation, you will schedule. Method of transportation, either you use tank or plastic bag, plastic jacks, buckets, or drums. These are the materials that we normally use for transportation of fishes. That's all on transportation, fish transportation and handling. If you do not handle your fish very well, while being transporting them, they will die off. So we have to be very careful whenever we are transporting our fishes from one farm to another farm. Then the next topic that we are going to listen to is fish processing, preservation, and marketing. Fish processing, preservation, and marketing. First of all, fish spoilage. Handling, processing, and preservation to control spoilage. If you did not handle your fish very well, or if you didn't process it very well, it will spoil very quickly, and the texture of that fish will change, the taste of that fish will change, the physical appearance of that fish will equally change if you did not handle it very well. If you do not handle or process it very well, it will spoil. What can cause fish spoilage? Activity of microorganisms. we know that microorganisms is on air, like housefly and other things. You know, whenever that you brought out fish, all of us know they will start hovering around it and be perching on it. While doing so, there are some live organisms that they do drop on that fish, which leads to fast and quick spoilage of fish. So by so doing, whenever you brought out your fish, you have to handle it very well. Either putting it in a container or preserve it with ice block before you transport it or before you start processing it. Attack by insects also affects the handling and processing of fishes. Fish must be in a contact with clean surface always. If you want to process your fish, you bring it out, you just drop it on a neutral ground that is not clean. You didn't prepare even the place that you want to process your fish. First of all, before you go into fish processing, you have to get your materials ready. Make sure the place that you are going to keep those fishes is very clean. Either you use a very big nylon, spread it on the ground, or you wash the ground with water and make sure that that place is very clean before you harvest your fish and drop them there. The second one, do not kick or tap out on fish. You know, some of us, after harvesting, if we want to process fish, you just drop it there, you use something to be knocking on it so that it will die very quick. That is very wrong. It's not good. Use a heavy metal or wood to be hitting on that fish, more especially catfish. You know that if you mistakenly handle catfish, it will stink you. So some of us used to use a heavy metal and be hitting on them so that they can die very fast, and you know, that is not good. Then the second one, keep fish in shade areas. Maybe you want to process your fish. After harvesting them, you keep them under a shade, maybe under a tree or under a canopy like this. Make sure there is shade here so that sun cannot be hitting them. It will make them to last long and they will not get spoiled quick. Then pre-processing operations, branding, washing to remove slime when they are being harvested from the pond. Normally use salt, you spray salt on them. That salt helps them to compact the texture of their body so that they will come together. The texture and the structure of their body will be compacted. The salt, and we help them to move the sling that is on the body so that if you hold it, you hold it firmly. It will not be dragging you or this thing. Or the second method that you can use, if you harvest them, you put them inside a bowl, you boil hot water, and you pour the water inside those fishes. It also helps to remove the slime on them and make the structure of that fish to be strong and compatible. Please, I got our information now. The materials, the handouts are ready. Maybe after this program, like the national director said, that anybody that are interested will get the handout. I will make it available for you people to go through it on your own usual time so that you can understand more. Like under that inducing hatchery, there are some pictures that you people supposed to be looking at and differentiate the male and the female. So all of them are inside this handout. The national coordinator and the state coordinator will make sure that this handout got to your hand. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.